Hello Gemini, this is your September forecast for 2017 and I hope you're doing really great after these awesome eclipses in August. So some of that energy is going to spill over into here in September. We're going to see what that's going to do for you as that lunar eclipse fell on the August 7th, pretty much there in your 9th house, right? For higher education, long distance travel and so forth, courts and whatnot. And that solar eclipse in your 3rd house, also again, travel, but more so to and fro in your closer community, short trips, weekend trips, getaway, also new beginnings as far as communications go, negotiations, but also interactions here with siblings. So as we start off in September, we got both Venus and Mars cruising through the sign of Leo. That brings our emotions, our heart chakra is center stage, right? And we're bringing it out since it is in your 3rd house. You're communicating your emotions and your feelings, really giving it a priority, right? And speaking your highest truth, that is one of the most important things as far as cutting to the core of those issues that are really important to you. Now Mars is coming in, giving also that dignity, that sense of self-respect, right? And also wanting to be a little flamboyant maybe. So it's an awesome month for you because it's in the house that you rule, which is that 3rd house. So it's really comfortable here, and I know a lot of you would wish that these 2 planets could just freeze up and stay here for the rest of the year, but they are moving. So on September 5th, Mars, your action and dedication will be moving out of that communication area into the 4th house, which has to do with your foundation, home, family, real estate, and so forth, and projects that are all home or family related. Venus will also move into the 4th house September 19th. So enjoy the time that it is there in Leo, because once both these planets are in your 4th house, you're definitely going to see now where your passion is going. It is all about making your home cozy, maybe nesting it up a little bit. There could be some projects that's been waiting for your focus to really hone in and get things done. And you'll see you'll get a lot done in a short amount of time. Now the Sun is in your 4th house this month, which is also home and family. So, you know, with the company of Venus and Mars getting in here, this is going to be the time to just really take in all that great energy. Now, for those of you thinking of buying or selling, this could be an awesome time for you to do so and be very lucky with the price that you will be getting if you're selling, or also if you're buying, you might get, you know, a new piece of real estate for a good buck. Now we have the new moon here, which is not showing up before September 29th. But new moons are always new beginnings, right? And think about that solar eclipse new moon that we had there August 21st, right? That was in your 3rd house. Now you're going to see that maybe some of those new beginnings, what you were negotiating in August, might now just come to surface in this area. The full moon, on the other hand, 13 degrees in Pisces, will occur on September 6th. So for you, that is going to be your career area. So this could bring everything in to be illuminated, things that you've been working for. There's a crescendo taking place, so it's highlight. And what is beautiful too here, Gemini, is that this full moon is conjunct Neptune. That's your hopes and dreams, your visions, right? And when the moon is full, we're feeling full. So pay attention to what is taking place there on September 6th. Mars has just changed signs. On the 5th, Mercury retrograde will go direct on September 5th. So whatever is taking place here under the full moon, you should be good to go as Mercury is now direct, right, for the rest of the month. It went retrograde there August, I believe, 12th. And so if you're listening to this forecast a little early, just recall Mercury is retrograde, and then we just want to, you know, hang back and not sign if we don't have to. If we have to, we have to. The show must go on. Now, starting anything new, it also behooves us to wait to Mercury's direct September 5th. Give it maybe a week or two in the aftermath, even better yet. But the only exception from this rule is if you have pre-existing contracts or communications or startups and so forth, then it's okay to move forward under a retrograde period. Moving parts, anything that you buy right now mechanically and so forth is not a good thing. Think about it being in the sign of Virgo. Well, retrograding back into Virgo, that is. Because why? That is because Virgo rules Mercury, and Mercury rules equipment and so forth, just like Uranus does too. And so sometimes we can just get a funky piece of hardware, right? And then we're going to have to redo it in the aftermath. However, though, yes, let's talk about top of the month. Now, before I get into that, let me just add here that I've made something extra for you this month, and that is a full month astro calendar. You'll find it by going to the information button up here. It's a day-by-day calendar. You'll see the whole calendar, and we're following the moon because the moon really shows us how we react and interact emotionally. And we don't get to do that when I go through the major aspects, which we do here on our month-to-month zodiac sign video, because there would be way too many aspects to go through all the 12 signs. But this is a general calendar, but it applies to all of us when we can see the moon's transits and aspects and so forth. And it's really good to have at hand if you're needing to look it up. And you'll find it either here, or you can just go under Astrology, and then monthly calendar, September 2017, right? You can find that on my webpage as well. But it's really helpful, a handy tool to have. But we're starting top of the month. So when we look at June the 2nd, we start off the month with Mars and Uranus. Now, they're in a beautiful aspect to one another, so Mars is really fired up, ready to go. With what, though? With Uranus. Uranus is all about change, new beginnings, swiftness of information, and so forth. And Uranus is in the 11th house for hopes and dreams, friendships, groups, and so forth. Mars being in your 3rd house of communication. So this is where the areas of this energy is going to express itself. So expect the unexpected within, coming from perhaps some friends or something that you would like to do or participate with your friends, or maybe with a group. Maybe it's a group outing or whatnot. On the 3rd, we got Mercury and Mars. And Mercury's our communication. Mercury, yes, being retrograde still, it is the 3rd, right? It is conjunct Mars there in your 3rd house. And so you could probably come to get something of a little bit of a little hiccup. Maybe it could be miscommunication or whatnot. So we always want to be a little cautious, at least to initiate or start anything new within the area here of short distance travel. If you are going to be traveling, it may still be very safe, but you could come to expect maybe some delays or whatnot. That's so typical there when it comes to travel, when it's placed in the 3rd house or the 9th house. On the 5th, we have the Sun and Neptune. They are in opposition, the Sun being in your 4th house, Neptune in the 10th house. So what does that mean? Well, the Sun is you, essentially, and the 4th house is family, roots, foundation, and so you might be working on something within a family concept or within your home, anything with real estate and so forth. Neptune being in your 10th house of career, you might have to make a choice on this day where to focus your energy so you're not really scattered on both ends, so you might have to balance that pretty well. On the 9th, though, the Sun and Pluto come together in a beautiful trine, and trines are always like a golden day, right? And the Sun is you, Pluto's all about transformation, and Pluto being in your 8th house tells me that there could be something here coming to the forefront on a positive level, dealing with finances or the money that you have with your partner. Maybe your partner is going to come to you with some great news of something that is in change or flux. Maybe also this could be a day that you might have news of, say, getting a mortgage, for example, since the Sun is in your 4th house. So it's a great time for you if you have been waiting to get a mortgage through. this could be great. If you're waiting for any kind of other payout, which could be investments and so forth, that rings true as well. On the 12th, Venus and Saturn get together also in a very secure, beautiful aspect. Venus being love, harmony, the feelings, emotions we have in the heart, right? Saturn, which will always want to secure and ground, lock in those things that are important to you, right? Now, Saturn is in your 7th house for partnerships. So here we have it, like a double whammy. Venus in itself rules relationships, right? So Venus for you is in the 3rd house. So communication between you and your partner, you might just come to some kind of beautiful agreement on things that you would either like to do. Some of you might even find that engagements or marriage at this time could be absolutely wonderful. Saturn will ensure the longevity of this emotional feeling, this emotional love that you're expressing today. And for those of you who are getting married or engaged, I would say it has a longevity signature attached to it. So good for you and congratulations to you guys. But it could also be with projects that we're working on or with, and feeling good about it, really feeling that love is pouring and streaming forth from your heart chakra, where you're totally happy, convinced with what is going on, because it feels right. You know, whenever Saturn is well aspected, we sense the groundedness of it. And this is what you're going to be feeling. And to top that off with, on the 15th, just a couple of days later, Venus once again comes to the forefront, this time with Jupiter. Now, if Saturn and Venus was good, this is even better because now you have the joy of expressing it. Jupiter will always expand what it is that we're currently working on. It has to do with our goals, where we see ourselves on those far ahead, shall I say, horizons, right? And Jupiter for you being in your 5th house of creativity, Gemini, listen, whatever it is you're doing right now, expect growth, expansion with all of those things that you love, that you hold close to heart. Again, a wonderful time to get engaged or married. So these few days here, we're all thriving, and especially for you, since it has to do with your 5th house of love and romance, self-expression, it's creativity, it's your children. Maybe some of your children might come to you with great news. So I'm really loving what mid-month September is going to bring you. On the 16th, you're really kicking into action here at Gemini, and this has to do with your communication. Now that Mercury is direct, so we're all on board, things are moving very, very beautifully right along, and Mars being your dedication towards your goals, your action. It's our physical drive as well. So I'm feeling both mentally and physically today is a day to accomplish a lot of things. Maybe you put a few things aside under Mercury retrograde, but no longer. Now you're back up to speed and feeling that things are really drifting as they should, okay? You're all on board physically, dynamically, and on the 16th with Venus joining the party, that is all love coming from the heart chakra and bringing you great unexpected news from Uranus. So, I mean, if the last few days have been great, just wait to see what's going to take place on the 17th. Uranus, we love, love, love when it is well aspected, because change, we need change, you know, or we can't move forward, but we love the positive unexpected surprises. So today here on the 17th can be that kind of a wow factor, and so circle that on your chart. On the 22nd, Mercury and Pluto. Well, Pluto is all about transformation, beginnings and endings and so forth, but it is well aspected to Mercury. So communication today with somebody who represents power for you, or maybe you're the one carrying the signature of power when Pluto now is relating some kind of news, a message, any kind of signatures that are needed today will actually resonate and carry a wonderful energy as you move forward. Pluto for you is in your, let me check, in your 8th house, so that has to do with other people's money, or it could also be your investments and so forth. Any money you have with your partner, for example, commissions, royalties, that kind of thing. If you're signing a contract, any kind of financial contract that is, it should be good. You're safe to go. Mercury is direct. It's still a little in the shadow, but it's moving direct. And I feel that this too can be very, very helpful for the things that you now are trying to accomplish. On the 24th, I would be a little careful, actually between the 24th and the 27th. And why is that? Well, it is because we have some oppositions going on. Mars and Jupiter are in opposition. Mars will be opposing Neptune, and that's where things can get a little muddy, right? When Neptune isn't well aspected, we're not getting the clear spiritual vision that we need. It kind of turns into this foggy kind of mess. And since Mars is our direction, our physical action, our goals and whatnot, we just want to be careful not getting too close to something that's not totally clear. There could be all kinds of sheens going on under a muddied type Neptune. So we don't want to get manipulated in any way, shape, or form. So I just say hang on a couple of days. If you're hearing something that might sound too good to be true, maybe it is too good to be true. So don't jump into action. Be cautious, because Jupiter too, see, and Jupiter wants to grow, wants to expand. Mars is on the go. So they're both kind of like really wanting something that sounds fabulous right now, right? We're feeling it. However, though, that Jupiter is opposing Uranus. And so, and then of course on the 29th we got Venus and Neptune also in opposition. So that whole last week from the 24th to the end of September, I'd be careful, or at least, you know, cautious. You could, you know, research, get all the information that you need. If somebody's wanting you to sign up for something, I'll make sure that it is definitely something that you want, because something is a little off. I feel, you know, there could be this trigger happiness going on, because Jupiter really just wants that change, and it wants it now, right? But there's that Neptunian opposition. So I would wait till we get into October to really look at, if you still want it, you're still feeling good, you've done your research, then that is fine. But we're just seeing a little bit of mess, and it's not just for you, Gemini. It's actually, you know, cosmic. We're all feeling it, no matter what sign we are, because these are the aspects that we're all going to be sensing and feeling internationally as well, right? So, yes, did we mention the moons? The full moon is September 6th, 13 degrees in Pisces, which will be your career area. So that is going to illuminate anything now that has to do with what you've been working towards. There's a sense of achievement coming in, especially because this is the first full moon since the lunar eclipse last month. So that might just really bring things to the surface already now that you can harvest. The new moon, September 20th, 27 degrees in Virgo. That will be in your 4th house, which has to do with your home, family, real estate, and so forth. Your parents. New beginnings always come with a new moon. And especially after that solar eclipse on August 21st, now we're going to really start seeing and feeling the consequences of what that brought into our life. And for you, Gemini, it's going to be here in your 4th house. So listen, you can go listen to my day-to-day forecast for September. You can find it by clicking on that I button right up above, and it will take you through your experiences through the oncoming month, as we don't really list all the lunar aspects here on our monthly forecast. It would be way too many for doing that for all 12 signs. So I've got a collective calendar, and you can see the calendar as I go through it with you. So that's something that you can really use as a good reference throughout the month when you're needing to know what's happening tomorrow, right? You can go in and see whether it's a good day where you can use your energies to the max, or whether it's a day to kind of hold back a little bit. I think that could be quite helpful for you. So listen, Gemini, have a wonderful month. I will see you next month.